Hello everyone. If you're watching this, that means you are now a part of my PP. In this video, we are going to discuss about aircraft safety. In the past few years, there has been a rise in high-profile air disasters. These may make you afraid to fly, but in truth, you're more likely to die in the journey to the airport than flying itself. But no one's afraid of driving. This is just going to be a brief overview without it being too detailed. First of all, when you enter an aircraft and prepare to take off, the first thing you do is to use the seatbelt. But just why is that? The answer is statistics. Takeoff, and especially landing, is one of the most dangerous parts of a flight, with a higher chance of something going wrong. That's why you're always told to use your seatbelts during takeoff and landing. You're also told to open your window shades. Why? It is because with an open window shade, you'll be able to notice if something is wrong outside the plane, while putting your seat in the upright position and folding your tray table helps with evacuation if there is a need to. Before you take off, there will be an in-flight safety briefing. Is it really that important? Is it just a waste of time? Besides, we could always do this. The truth is, it really isn't important, unless you actually end up crashing, and we don't know if we crash or not. So if you're known for being unlucky, then you might want to stick to paying attention. Now some airlines still use practical briefing, while others use a pre-recorded video. There are a lot of styles that they can use, like this one from Singapore Airlines.
Welcome aboard Singapore Airlines. As the safety equipment on this aircraft may differ from that on other aircraft, please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing and on a journey through Singapore.
Or this one from Air New Zealand, which take a more fun approach.
Welcome aboard this Air New Zealand flight. Shortly, we'll be winging our way to your next port of call. But before we kick off, I'd like to give you a quick safety team talk. Even if you fly with us often, please keep your eyes on the briefing.
To warm up, make sure all your baggage is stored away in the overhead compartments, or tucked under the seat in front of you.
Whether you're on the front row or the back, all passengers must keep an eye on the lighted signs and follow the cruise instructions.
With the seatbelt sign switched on, nip back to the seat and fasten your seatbelt.
Not so tight that you'll lose feeling in your legs, but enough to make sure it's snug across your hips. We recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, but if you need to get up to stretch your hammies, undo the seatbelt by lifting the flap.
Excuse me.
If an oxygen mask should drop down in front of you, don't stop to ask why.
Simply pull down on the mask, place over your nose and mouth, and tighten by pulling the elastic on both sides. Oxygen will flow through the mask automatically.
If there are young ones around you, make sure you got your mask on before helping them out. Then look around, as there may be someone else who needs a hand.
If an emergency were to happen during takeoff or landing, place your hands on your head with your elbows on the outside of your thighs and feet flat on the floor.
Or crouch, touch, and brace yourself on the seat in front of you.
And down here is a perfect place to find your life jacket. Life jackets are really easy to use. Simply rip it out of the bag and put it over your head like this. Then clip the straps together and tighten. This thread tab inflates the life jacket, so only pull it once you leave the aircraft. If you need to inflate a little bit more, simply blow into the mouthpiece, like this.
We'll also be on hand to provide life jackets for infants if needed.
If you find yourself needing to smoke on this flight, consider yourself dropped. Smoking anywhere on the plane is not allowed, and we can't have that kind of disruption in the team.
If you need to find your way out, even if it's all black, escape path lighting will lead you to the exit. Should we need to evacuate, support others around you who require help.
Your crew are now pointing out the exits.
It would pay to note that your nearest exit could be behind you, so have a quick look and count the number of rows to the exit. You'll find more information on the safety card in your seat pocket.
Please turn off all electronic devices during takeoff and landing. Electronic devices such as mobile phones can interfere with aircraft systems and mustn't be used in flight unless you've switched them to flight mode. Finally, for takeoff, we ask that you place your tray table back. Make sure your seat is upright.
So we just watched an example of a safety video by Air New Zealand. In the end, it said that you always need to put on your oxygen mask first. Why? I'm going to borrow part of the video from Smarter Everyday with the link to the full video in the description below.
For about 3:45, 3 minutes 45 seconds. What is that? Square. And what was that one? That is a square? A square. Are you sure what's this one? You're starting to have a little shake there, you know, that lack of oxygen. You need to start thinking about getting back on oxygen now, Destin. What would you do? If you felt like you needed to get on oxygen, how would you correct for that? Can you correct for hypoxia for me? Alright, so if you don't get on oxygen, you're going to die, right? You're not going to be able to survive this. Go to your regulator, get all 3 switches up on your regulator. Alright, go to your regulator, get all 3 switches on your regulator. Alright, let's go ahead and put him on for him. Let's get him back on. Alright, let's continue on with the shape box. So we're going to square? Yeah, alright, good deal, good deal. Circle? Look at that. See, that right there proves how much he's already gone from hypoxia back to feeling 100%. But this is really important. So this is why on aircraft, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on before you help younger children. That's exactly correct, yes. Because you want to be able to have the mental awareness to be able to save yourself and save others. If you're waiting, what can happen is that while you're trying to reach over and put that oxygen mask on that child, you may end up passing out from the lack of oxygen. That's super important. I'm probably going to pay attention to the man or woman that's giving me the pre-flight briefing again.
Okay, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. We performed this demonstration at 25,000 feet and had about 3 to 5 minutes of consciousness left. However, most airliners travel at 35,000 feet. Look at this chart. There is way less oxygen up there. At 35,000 feet, you literally have seconds of useful consciousness at that altitude. You can go from a normally rational person to someone so helpless you can't even save yourself if your life depends on it.
So, as you just saw, you always have to put on your own mask first, or else you won't be any good to anyone else. Finally, we're going to talk about turbulence. First of all, there is for a fact 0 planes down by turbulence. There is, however, injuries caused by turbulence, but mostly it's because of people weren't using seatbelts. As we can see, the turbulence may look very bad from the cabin. However, from outside the plane, the turbulence's effect on the plane as a whole is barely noticeable. And this kind of turbulence is considered rare as it is very, very strong. So there really isn't a need to be scared by turbulence. As long as you buckle up, you'll be fine. We are now at the end of the video. Please give your feedback through the survey provided in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.